What is going on, YouTube? Back with another ranking video. Today is part 3, the final part of ranking the top 150 rappers of all time, number 50 through number 1. Now, if you've not watched part 1 and 2, I'd highly suggest going back and watching those. But I did want to clarify one thing, because that's going to pop up a lot more. It really hasn't popped up at all in the first 2 videos. As a reminder, this video only accounts for songs that are officially released. So if there's a great song that is not officially released, I don't count it. And I will clarify, it has to officially be released on Spotify. I know there's some songs like Fetty Wap with Barlito or Free Uzi by Lil Uzi Vert that are not officially released on Spotify but are officially released elsewhere. Those songs do not count. I make sure it's only Spotify released songs, but I do still want to say there are a lot of banger unreleased songs or even released songs that are not on Spotify. So go check them out, especially Barlito and Free Uzi, great songs. But yes, I just wanted to clarify that is the criteria. Now, as a short reminder, a small spoiler alert, very small spoiler alert, for part 2. Number 52 was 24 Karat Golden, and number 51 was XXX Tentacion. Now, if you remember, and if you watch part 2, you'll remember I said 24 Karat Golden is the last person that is in the Hall of Fame, in my personal rap Hall of Fame. So, there are 52 people in this rap Hall of Fame. Obviously, there's those 2, and the 50 we'll cover today. But I know last episode I was a lot more negative, trying to kind of explain why they weren't in the Hall of Fame. This video is going to be a lot more positive. Basically, from number 50 all the way to number 9, I think you can kind of mix and match any of these guys, or girls. They're all very talented, so I just want to highlight why they made the Hall this episode and not really push back on why they're not any higher, because honestly, number 50 all the way to number 8 or 10, you can kind of mix and match. Now, number 9 through 1 is when I'll start getting like specifically why they're ranked here, because I think those are like the Mount Rushmore. Obviously, I know Mount Rushmore has 4 heads on it. Let's pretend Mount Rushmore has 9 heads on it, okay? But we'll get to those 9 when we get to those. But without further ado, we have the first person on the video, number 50. We have Logic is kind of corny sometimes, but boy, if that boy can't spit, he can spit. He has some absolute bars and some just gas songs. Lyrically, he is amazing, and I think his beat selection is also really, really good. I feel like most, or at least I think I've listened to 2 different albums from him. Both were very good. I just think Logic lyrically is very talented, and I value lyrics a lot less than most people do in the rap scene, but I can still, Logic's one of those guys where it's like, his lyrics are just so good that I feel like he makes the Hall, and not only that, he has some really, really good flows. So I just wanted to give a little shout out to Logic. I feel like, again, he can be anywhere on this list. I feel like this is a good spot for him. But shout out Logic. At number 49, we have somebody that I'm a lot more high on as the years go on. The more I listen to him, the more new stuff he puts out. I think, I don't know if at this time it's his newest released album. He might have put out another one. But the one that I listened to that came out 2-ish years ago, maybe 3. Gosh, I don't think it's 3, but it might be. Number 49, I have Lil Yachty. Lil Yachty is very, very good. And the more I listen to him, his consistency especially is insane. He can do anything from songs like Maze in 97, which is just pure trap, to just doing such a different vibe. I don't even know how to explain it, but just such a different vibe on, again, it was either his most recent or second most recent album that was just so good. It was so good. Yachty is very talented. Also, I wanted to give a shout out to Pardon Me, his verse on Pardon Me. I had that song in my playlist, and whenever I was going through to try and see like which songs would be at the top or the best song or best feature for each person, I re-listened his part on Pardon Me, and I forgot how good it was. Lil Yachty reaches flow state on that verse. The rest of the song's not amazing, but Yachty just reaches flow state. So shout out Yachty for Pardon Me. Such a banger verse. Now at number 98, I have somebody he's kind of a meme rapper, kinda. At least he was when he was big. He's not really big anymore. But at number 48, I have Lil TJ. Now, Lil TJ kind of gets memed in the rap community, kind of for a good reason, because when Lil TJ was hungry, boy might have been the best rapper alive at that point. And then he finally got fed because he got popular. And after that, he dropped off the face of the world. I don't know anything kind of after he started getting popular was just bad. Lil TJ just doesn't have it in him anymore. I don't know if he lost the motivation or what, but like he obviously still deserves to be on this list. His flows go crazy. His flows go absolutely crazy. He reaches flow state in a lot of different songs. Also, I did want to say, if you've never listened to Forever's a weird case that it's on Spotify under his account, but I think it's one of those tricky copyright things because somebody like recorded over it. That's clearly not Lil TJ or his team. So if you're going to listen to Forever, it is still officially released on Spotify and was fine as of, I think, even a year ago. And now it's acting all weird. So go listen to it on, I assume, any other platform. And it should be fine. But that song's an absolute banger. I'd definitely check it out. Now, at number 47, we have another rapper, a rapper that I really don't see get talked about a lot. And I don't know why, because I feel like in terms of emo rappers, he is one of the best. He's top five, and people just don't talk about him. So at number 47, I have Lil Peep. Lil Peep's really good. I don't know why people don't talk about Lil Peep more or give Lil Peep his flowers. I really don't. I don't get it. I don't know if it's just like people don't like emo rap that much or what. But Spotlight by Marshmello in particular is such a good song, and Nuts. He has so many good songs. And I just don't understand why people don't give him his flowers, because they definitely should. So if you're into emo rap, check out Lil Peep. If you haven't, if you have checked him out and you don't like him, try and get deeper his discography, because I think the more smaller hits you get into, that's where you can find his better stuff. So shout out Lil Peep, great underground rapper. Not underground. I don't know why I said underground. I meant emo rap. Two completely different things. Don't know why I said that. Number 46, we have somebody that's not a rapper anymore. Kind of similar to the Bad Bunny situation from part 2. But still somebody that, like, in their prime when they were rapping was actually going stupid on the mic. Number 46, we have Post Malone. Posty. Such a good artist. Just a good artist in general. Honestly, I think he's a better pop artist than he is a rapper, but like he's still such a good rapper. He's made so many bangers, and I couldn't tell you exactly how long he's a rapper. I mean, it's at least like 5 years, I think. But he's so good. There's just so many bangers out there. Psycho's so gas. It's one of those rare things too, where like Ty Dolla $ign goes crazy on. I know I covered Ty Dolla $ign on my last part, and I thought, and I think I said this in part 2, I thought I would have put Ty Dolla $ign like higher, but I didn't. But that was the one thing in Ty Dolla $ign's catalog where I'm like, okay, this is the Ty Dolla $ign I remember is in Psycho, because both of them just go crazy. But yeah, I'd really highly suggest checking out Post Malone. If you haven't, I mean, I'm sure everybody has it at some point. But in both his pop and his rap, because both are very good. Now, number 45, we have somebody who's in the game for a long time. Unfortunately, passed away 7 years ago, I think, somewhere around there. No, it was even later than that. Gosh, time flies sometimes. But at number 45, I have MF Doom. What an icon. What an icon. Normally, as you can tell by my list, I really don't have old school rappers on my list. 80s, 90s rappers, I just don't, they're not, I don't think they're very good, especially compared to today's day and age in rap. I think just this rap scene triumphs amongst most rappers not in the mid 2000s. But MF Doom is the exception, where I think MF Doom is insanely talented lyrically and insanely talented flows wise. And I think it does it. It also helps that his voice is so cool. And he just had so many bangers. And MF Doom's one of those people that I really need to listen to more. But even in the decent bit I've listened to him, he is so good. So please go listen to MF Doom. I truly think if we're talking about, like, again, middle aughts rappers, he's definitely the best. I think far and away the best. So if you don't like a lot of the 80s, 90s, early 2000s rap songs like me, or rap artists, definitely go check out MF Doom, because you're not going to regret it. MF Doom makes some bangers. Great rapper. Now, number 44 is somebody who I also thought at a certain point I'd have higher, but again, 50 to 9 is kind of a wash, honestly. You can kind of mix, or 50 to 10, really. You can kind of put him wherever, and it's fine. But I did want to shout him out because he has a banger movie, which I'll talk about in a movie video later down the line. But at number 44, I have Kid Cudi. Kid Cudi makes some bangers, including a banger movie. If you haven't checked out Intergalactic, please go check it out. Such a good movie. Such a good movie. But Kid Cudi is really, really good. Really, really good. And he's been around for longer than I thought he was. I don't know why. I thought he was around for like a decade. He's been around for a hot second, though. It's been a hot second. But no, I think Kid Cudi is really, really good. And I don't really have much to say outside of go check out Intergalactic. You're not going to regret it. Truly one of the best animated movies I've ever seen. And I don't know what it kind of classifies as, because it was made for one of his albums. It was kind of a physical representation of his album. So I really don't know what genre that falls into, because I don't think it'd be like a musical or anything like that. But it's definitely experimental, and in a good way. In a good way, not a bad experimental. One of those where you're like, yeah, this is good. So please go check out Intergalactic. I believe it's on Netflix. Don't quote me on that, though, but go check that out. At number 43, we have another rapper that has been around for longer than I thought he was, but he still makes so many bangers. At number 43, I have Tyler, the Creator. If we're talking about just straight hit rates and percentages, hit rate percentage on good rap albums, he's up there. He's top 10 for sure. He releases straight bangers. If I had to try and like guess or bet on a rapper making a good rap album, he's one of the people I'm betting on first. He is so consistently good. Every album he drops is pure flames. Please drop more albums, Tyler. Please drop more albums. You release heat. Also, I've noticed a lot of his best songs have like beat switches, which I think is very interesting. But he's just an all around great artist. So shout out Tyler, the Creator. Please drop more albums, man. At number 42, we have somebody that it's kind of on the fringe of considering them to be a rapper. I feel like a lot of people would be like, he's more R&B, you know? And I'd still consider him a rapper, and Spotify does as well. So at number 42, we have Party Next Door. Party Next Door, I wasn't as high on until the Drake album. And I don't know why the Drake album's name is escaping me, but the collaboration album they did. After listening to that, I just have so much more confidence that Party Next Door is an all-time great rapper. I mean, clearly, he's made the Hall of Fame. But he's so talented, and I really need to get more into his discography because I listened to a decent bit more, but not a ton outside of that album. But I need to listen to more, and maybe eventually I'll bump him up further on the list once I listen to more. But again, he's made the Hall of Fame. It's kind of hard to complain about your spot because, well, you're in the Hall. You did a good job. Now, at number 41, we have, I think, the youngest person on this list so far. I'm pretty confident about it. And maybe he's not, but number 41, we have, and he's probably the third best lyricist on this list. Number 41, we have Cordae. Cordae is really good lyrically. He is really good lyrically. And again, off the top of my head, I can only think of two people right now that I'd say are better lyrically than Cordae. The thing with Cordae is, like, I don't know, he has an old school rap vibe, which for me I don't like, but he just does it really well. And I think if we're comparing it, and people are going to hate me for this, he's just kind of a better Biggie, you know? I think he is. I do. I think if we're talking about old school, like 90s, 80s era rap, Cordae's the best at it. And the kid's like 25. Bro wasn't around when the rap was being made, bro. And he's still better. Shout out Cordae, though. Shout out Cordae. What a lyricist. That cypher, probably my favorite cypher of all time. Oh my, he was going crazy on that freshman cypher. So shout out Cordae. Shout out Cordae. Now at number 40 we have, in my opinion, probably the most talented individual, at least currently alive. He literally can do anything he wants to, and he's going to do it well. We can see that too, and I'll talk about that here in a second with some recent news that came out. But at number 40, I have Childish Gambino. I mean, he's playing Yoshi. Like, he's playing Yoshi. He wrote and directed and stars in Atlanta, which is an amazing show. He acts incredibly well in Community, which is an amazing show. And he's an amazing rapper and artist. I genuinely don't understand how somebody can have that much talent in them, but he can. So shout out Childish Gambino. Truly one of the most, if not the most talented individual alive, and I fully believe that. I think he can do anything he wants to. If he wants to be a professional bowler, I have confidence that he can be a professional bowler because he's insanely talented. So shout out Childish Gambino. Shout out 3005. Truly one of the best songs I've ever heard in my life. That whole album is so peak, though. Oh my gosh. If we're talking about, like, the meaning behind the album itself, like, not just like listening to it and that's it. If we're actually like deep diving into it, I think it was a NRG, wasn't it? Or ARG, sorry, ARG behind it, that showed like the whole story and everything. Beautiful, beautiful story. Childish Gambino really is that guy when it comes to storytelling, both in Atlanta and in his album. So shout out Childish Gambino. Now at number 39, we have somebody, he dropped a whole lot. At one point in my list that I made years and years ago, probably 3 years ago, 4 years ago, I had him number 4. And now he's all the way down at number 39. But that is also just because I've listened to more rap. And I've come to revere a lot more people. But still, at number 39, we have Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne dropped a long ways. He dropped 35 spots. But honestly, that's okay. Again, he still made the Hall. He's still an all-time great rapper. I can't really say anything negative about Lil Wayne. He's also just a really funny guy. I do love Lil Wayne. I do love Lil Wayne. There's so many more new rappers that I think are a little bit better than him. But again, like I said, this list is very fluid from 50 to 10, so he can kind of fit wherever. But I did think his slide is kind of crazy. Also, Sucker for Pain, love that song. Hate how many people I had to type out in that best song list. I thought it was never going to end. I really did. It was such a pain, but I mean, I had to. It's Sucker for Pain. Such a banger. I don't even like Imagine Dragons. I think they suck. But they did such a good job in that song. I will never call them a bad band because of that song. Now, outside of Sucker for Pain, they suck really bad. But that song, that crazy carry job on their discography. Now, at number 38, we have somebody that is Lil Cheese's, one of Lil Cheese's least favorite rappers, which I get. So at number 38, we have Jack Harlow. Shout out Jack Harlow. Shout out White Men Can't Jump. What a movie. I will say, I did like the movie, Definitely not my favorite, though. Definitely not my favorite movie or basketball movie. But it was still a fun-ish time. Shout out Young James. I watched the movie with famous popular rapper Young James. But it was a fun movie. But either way, as an artist, I do think he's very good. I think I wasn't as high on him as now. I think I would have put him probably at like 52 or 51. Like, he was making the hole no matter what. But the carry job that Denver does on his discography is actually crazy. Because I think Denver is one of my favorite songs of all time. I think it's a masterpiece of a song. I think its storytelling is so vivid. And that's something that I don't get with a lot of rap songs. I can't vividly imagine scenes very well. But in Denver especially, I can really picture it. So it carries his discography a lot. But he's a really good rapper all around. At number 37, at number 37, we have the first group on the list. And I think, just one of two groups on the list this time. A lot less groups than we had in the last two videos. If I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure we had more in the other videos. Number 37, we have Rae Sremmurd. Rae Sremmurd is really darn good. Really darn good. I can't remember what the name of that album is, but like the album with the white background, that's like the really popular album, is such a good album. It's such a good album. And they have good songs outside of that. Don't get me wrong. It's not like it's a one album kind of fluke, they drop a masterpiece type of thing. But that one album is a masterpiece. And I don't think they've made much close to that since, but still, that album is amazing. Please go listen to that album. It's absolute gas. But shout out Rae Sremmurd, and I think both the members are decent. I know I put Sway Lee on the list. But Together, which is the other group on the list, is the same way. Together, I don't know why, but they just go together really well. So shout out Rae Sremmurd. Shout out the album with the white background. I hope you all know what I'm talking about. It has swang on it. So if you look up swang, it's that album. So at number 36 is somebody that I think when I told famous rapper, of course, Lil Cheese, about this list, I think the only thing that he objected to, where he's like, that is a bad pick, is number 36. But I will die on this hill. So let's talk about it. Number 36, I have Yeat. Now, I love Yeat. I could not put him any higher because the unreleased stuff doesn't count. But either way, number 36 is still a great spot for him. I think he deserves it. I think if we're talking about flows, it's hard to beat out Yeat. Yeat's flows go crazy. And yeah, I know that some people don't like that you can't really understand his lyrics. For me, I don't really care. All right. I think there are people higher than him that are the same way, and you still can't understand their lyrics, but I think their flows are better. But I think if your flow is still so good, you deserve to be at a spot in the hall, especially at number 36. Also, let King Kong can't speak, I guess. Let King Tonka. There we go. King Tonka Talk is an absolute banger. Shout out Kylie Jenner. Did not expect her to be on that album. I mean, I don't think anybody did. But absolute banger verse. Kylie Jenner, please hop on more trap beats. You're fire. Low key. You and Timmy need to hop on a song one of these days. I mean, I know Timmy did with SD Kid. But both you guys should collaborate on a little song. That would be gas. Now, at number 35, we have one of the unks of current rap. That's no disrespect. That's a nice unk terminology. You know, I'm saying it revering him. At number 35, we have Young Thug. Young Thug's been in the game for a while, you know? And I feel like the last few years he's been not peaking, but having a resurgence to the point where, like, Young Thug could have a chance at being much higher on this list in the future, which is weird because he's not in his prime anymore. He's not close to his prime. But, like, here he is at number 35, and he can move higher. I'm not putting him any higher right now, but he has some absolute bangers. Light Years by Juice WRLD, such a good verse. And that released, I think, a year ago? Or no, it was a little over a year ago. But either way, absolute bangers by Young Thug. Insane discography. So shout out Young Thug. Please keep dropping, Young Thug, because you release some great music. Just not Ninja. Let's not do that again. But outside of that, outside of Ninja, keep dropping more gas music, please. At number 34, we have, I think, the first person's list that I've covered on this part of the list where I don't like them as a person. At number 34, we have formerly Queen Nicki. No longer Queen. Not even close. Get some better opinions, Nicki. Please. I beg you. You know, I was a fan. I'm not a fan anymore. Please get better opinions. Maybe I'll be a fan again. But, like, I still gotta respect just how talented she is. I think if we're talking about female rappers, she definitely paved the way for a lot of female rappers. I just can't justify putting her any higher. I don't know. I over the years, she's fallen off a lot, but she's still, it's in her prime. Nicki was so good. That's why I'm just sad. That's why I'm sad to see her turn that corner and have those terrible views. But still, shout out Nicki as an artist. Just as an artist. Shout out Nicki. She really did pave the way for a lot of great female rappers to come. Now, at number 33, we probably have the first person on this list that the common casual rap fan would go, who is this guy? At number 33, we have SoFaygo. I love me some SoFaygo. He has some absolute bangers. And yeah, I know he's like a TikTok rapper, but who cares? He got popular on TikTok. He semi blew up. Good for him. You know, good for him. He's gained some popularity, and he deserves it. He's such a good rapper. Flows especially, and his beat selections are really good. So shout out SoFaygo. He's just a really, really good rapper. Now at number 32, we have another really good lyricist. One of the best lyricists on this list. He's just so insanely good, and he reaches flow state on some songs that I'm just like, okay, he's going crazy. He can do anything. Number 32, we have JID. Off D's featuring J. Cole is an all-time banger because both of them reach flow state, and it's crazy. It is crazy. So shout out JID. lyrically, he's insane. He's insane. I'd compare him lyrically to like a Corday. I'd say both of them are a little higher than Logic, just to compare him to the, like, quote unquote, the lyrical people on the list so far. They're just so good, and I think he really knows how to just go insane on a flow, like on off these, where he'll just start rapping at like Eminem, or at least it feels like Eminem speed of rap, and you're like, what's happening? This is insane. This is awesome. So shout out Jid. Definitely a really consistent rapper too. I haven't heard a bad Jid song. So shout out Jid. At number 31, we have the cousin of somebody that's going to be later on this list. Number 31, we have Baby Keem. Baby Keem is insanely talented. I actually saw a TikTok not too long ago about all of the songs that he's like ghostwritten or co-written. It's insane. He's written a lot of songs, or helped write a lot of songs at least. And on top of that, he has some insane songs on his album, and I can't remember what album it is, but it's the album where like he's like laying by the sea. It was like that flag or something. That song, literally all hits, no misses. Shout out Baby Keem. If we're talking about best rap albums of all time, he's got one in the top 10. Shout out Baby Keem. Please drop more Baby Keem, and please write for more people. Just please be in the rap industry for a lot longer to come, because he's insanely talented in every aspect of rap, truly. Now, number 30, we have somebody that's flows go crazy when he reaches flow state, which is decently often. At number 30, we have Ski Mask, the Slump God. What an icon. What a great rapper. Honestly, his flows are crazy. Nuketown? Now, I have to acknowledge, Juice WRLD is definitely better than him on Nuketown. But that's not really saying anything, because that's an all-time verse. It is. Nuketown's verse and flow is insane by both of them. And Soda by DJ Scheme is also an all-time song. Corday is also on that song, and they go crazy together. I think there's somebody else on that song too that does okay. But them in particular, both Corday and Ski Mask go crazy. So shout out Ski Mask. I do feel bad for the guy. You know, he's lost a lot of his rap friends throughout the years, so I feel bad for him. But the fact that he's still able to make insanely good music through it is so insane. So shout out Ski Mask. I really respect Ski Mask a lot. At number 29, we have the second member of a group on this list. But I mean, like, the first member was covered at like 146 or something. He's not near as good as this guy. Number 29, we have A$AP Rocky. In case you're wondering, I was talking about A$AP Ferg, who was on this list a long time ago. But A$AP Rocky is insanely lyrically talented. And I think if we're talking about night drive vibe songs, he is definitely one of the best rappers. I'd argue he's the third best night drive rapper of all time. And songs like Fashion Killa just prove it. Fashion Killa is such a good and beautiful song, and I can listen to that song at any point, but especially at night. I can listen to that song on repeat for hours and hours. It is just such a good night vibe song. So thank you A$AP for making Fashion Killa. It's such a banger. Number 28, somebody I had a lot higher on this first draft of the list, but again, there's just so many talented people that they slipped through and fell down all the way to 28. But at number 28, we have Lil Tecca. I love Lil Tecca. Lil Tecca was, at one point, whenever I was kind of first getting into rap, my favorite artist of all time. That didn't last for very long. It was probably a month or two. But I do love me some Tecca. I think isn't it's called Dopamine, right? I'm not imagining things. His most recent album is so good. It is such a good album, and I think every single Lil Tech album is just filled with bangers. I really have no complaints about Tech. I mean, honestly, at this point in this list, you're basically really, really good in like every aspect of rap. There's really not much to say. So, but yeah, I just wanted to give a little shout out to Tekka. Shout out Heaven on Earth, a great daytime drive song, which is kind of, I feel like it's rare than night drive songs. And also, I don't like daytime like vibe songs as much as nighttime vibes, but it is still so good. I just wish Kodak Black was not on that song because he sucks on that song. No shade to Kodak, but he is bad on that song. I would skip his part because it's that bad. It's skippable worthy. Now at number 27, we have the second and last group on the list. So, by definition, they are the greatest group of all time. And the 27th best rapper of all time, we have Migos. Big shock. Who would have thought? I feel like most people would agree that Migos is the best group of all time. It's not particularly close. I mean, I know that Ray Sherman is like, well, I think literally 10 spots higher than them, or lower than them, I guess. They're at 37, Migos are at 27. But I still feel like the gap between them is decently large. But the amount of bangers that the Migos have put out is insane. I'm really sad that it doesn't look like we're going to get more Migos in the future. It makes sense. Rest in peace to, I believe it was Takeoff, right? I believe it was Takeoff that passed away. So rest in peace to him. But Migos in their prime especially would just go crazy on any song. T-shirt especially. I think I have every bar on that song memorized for good reason. It is banger after banger after banger after banger when it comes to the bars in those songs. Absolute flow state by every single Migos member in that song. Shout out T-shirt. If you haven't heard it in a while, go listen to it. It's such a banger. Such a banger. And I know bangers. At number 26, we have, again, and I feel like I just need to stop saying it at this point because I could say this with literally every person, but somebody that I feel like I wanted to put higher, I just couldn't because there's so many good rappers out there. At number 26, I have Denzel Curry. One of those people like Jid, like Cordev, all-time lyrically amazing. I think Hot One, especially his flow and his bars on that song are amazing. To be fair, everybody on that song's really amazing. I kind of found that song like a day after it came out. I was bumping it for like a week straight. I could not get that song out of my head. Such a banger. And Bleach by Zillakami, such a great night drive song. At this point, you guys know how much I love my night drive songs. So if you haven't heard that, go listen to it. It's an absolute banger. Now, number 25, we have, who I believe is Lil Cheese's second best rapper of all time, I believe. I love me a good Lil Cheese shout out. So shout out Lil Cheese. I keep referencing him. If you haven't checked out Lil Cheese's music, please go check out Lil Cheese's music. He makes absolute bangers. At number 25, though, we have one of probably the second best sing rapper of all time, maybe third. 25, we have A Boogie with the Hoodie. Boogie is so good. I did want to say, I don't know who made it, so I can't give an official shout out, but I did see a TikTok edit a few months back of DeMarcus Cousins with Boogie songs in the background. That was a fire video. So shout out whoever made that. Great idea. If we're talking about rappers that you can just sing bar for bar or rap bar for bar in like every single one of their songs, A Boogie's one of the best rappers at that. He makes so many bangers, so many like club or like party bangers, which I'm not a club or party type of guy. I'm not. But like I can still respect it, And I've been to a couple parties in my life, and all of them play Boogie songs for good reason. Because Boogie is such a good rapper. Still Think About You. Absolute gas. Absolute gas. Shout out Boogie. Please keep putting out more stuff, Boogie. I love you. Great rapper. Please just drop more. He has no misses. I've never heard a bad Boogie song. I haven't. And I hope I never do. Number 24, we have somebody that most people would go, who? With, but you gotta respect it. You gotta respect it because it's one. He's number 24. I mean, he is a darn good rapper, and that is Nav. Nav is so good. I think most people discredit him just because they're like, it's the guy from Lemonade. Which, yeah, fair. That song got overplayed a lot. But even then, that song's good. I mean, it's nowhere near his best stuff, but like it is still good. Wanted You with Uzi, such a good song. Flow State by both of them, truly. I saw an edit to that song with my boy Riz God from Survivor 49 and 50. Fastest repost of my life on TikTok. That was a gas video. Shout out Nav. Just such a great artist. Such a great artist. I highly recommend checking him out if you've heard just a few songs from him. Just try and go listen to like 10. You're going to be hooked like I was. Now, at number 23, we have probably the most contentious person on this list, only from the fact that most people, or at least some people, wouldn't call him a rapper. But by definition, and by my best judgment as well, I consider him to be a rapper. So at number 23, we have Chris Brown. Does he count? Does he not count? I don't know. I'm sticking him here, though. I think he counts enough, especially because if you go and look on Spotify, there's a decent chunk of his songs that are classified as rap songs. So, hey, and I picked from those for his best song, his best feature. Both of those songs are a banger. Party? I mean, it's one of the best party songs. I mean, it's in the name. I feel like if you drop a song called Party and it's a terrible party vibe, just quit the game at that point. You know, get out of music at that point. It's like if you release a song called Banger and it's not a banger, just quit. You know, like what are we doing? What are we doing in life if we're releasing a song called Party and it's not a party song? At that point, you just got to quit. So good thing it worked out for him. Good thing Party's a good song. It's a very good song. But shout out Chris Brown as a artist, not as a person. But shout out Chris Brown as an artist. Very good. I can see why people would have him off the list just because they wouldn't count him. But if you count him, you have to have him in the top 50. He's just such an insanely good artist and the second best sing rapper of all time. And we'll get to the first here in a little bit. Just here in a little bit, in a few spots. At number 22, we have somebody that, honestly, even though their oldest stuff, their 2000s era stuff, is the most popular, by far the most popular, they kind of peaked more recently. Last 5 years-ish. At least last decade is when they really started peaking, which is surprising. But at number 22, I have Chief Keef. Chief Keef, over the years, he's been aging like fine wine, which is weird. Because if you ask somebody that has like a surface like level knowledge of rap about Chief Keef, they'd probably be like, oh, Hate Being Sober, Love Sosa, songs made in like 2008, somewhere around there. Which, don't get me wrong, they're bangers. I mean, Hate Being Sober, I combine the songs there, apparently. Hate Being Sober, I literally have as his best song. But there's so much good stuff after that, and like in the decade, like from like 2016 to now, he's had some heat where it's like, oh, okay, like Kills, hold up, he's cooking with this, I can't remember if Save Me is in that spot or not, but also, if we could talk about all-time wasted beats, I think Save Me's number one. I really do. I really do. I wanted to put him higher or lower just because of that fact, but I'm not, But I couldn't. Yeah, I feel like that would just be wrong to do. But like honestly, what a wasted beat. What a wasted. One of the best rap beats I've ever heard in my life. Only for him to go, just mumble and say ad libs the whole time over the entire song. Like, Chief Keef, please just actually rap over the song. Please. At number 21, we have another great sad rapper. And I love me a good sad rapper. They're not my favorite type of rappers, but I do love me a good sad rapper. And he's darn good at it. At number 21, I have Trippie Redd. He has some bangers, including probably my favorite feature on any sad rap song ever. It's so good, and you can see it in the best features up there. Such a banger song, And X isn't bad on the song. He's not. But Trippie's verse on it is truly generational. And I am not a guy that likes going to concerts. I don't. I don't really care for it. Like, I'd rather just listen to it on, like, in my headphones or, in a car or something. But honestly, if I could experience him singing that song in front of a live audience, I definitely would. I'd pay, not a lot, but a decent amount of money just to go watch that, because saying that in concert, like, I've seen TikToks and videos and stuff of it, and it seems amazing, and that's still like watching it on a device. I can only imagine how good it must be to actually hear him sing that song in person. But it's just shout out Trippie Redd. He is such a good artist. I really hope he keeps going for years to come, because honestly, again, he's probably like the second or third best sad rapper of all time. And I just really hope, he keeps making music, because anytime he does, it's absolute bangers, and it has a good little vibe to it. And again, if you listen to Trippie while you're sad, at least for me, it cheers me up a little bit. It does. So shout out, thank you Trippie for cheering me up a little bit sometimes. Now number 20, we have one of the best, and I keep saying this a lot too, one of the best rappers of all time when it comes to night drive songs. And I'm glad to see that it looks like the allegations are getting lifted. At number 20, we have Tory Lanez. I personally, I hate to be that guy. I hate to be LeBron. I told my friends he was going for 81, Like, I hate to be LeBron. I do. But I did tell a few people, I'm like, this Tory Lanez situation, it looks a little odd. I'm not saying he got wrongfully convicted. It just seems a little odd. I would have looked into it further. And guess what? He's an innocent man. My boy Tory was framed. Poor Tory. And again, this isn't like I'm not, because I see a lot of people that are like, Megan Thee Stallion should get thrown in jail. Like, I don't think it was like her master manipulating this. I think it was just kind of they had a story. She went along with it because she wasn't exactly sure what happened. I don't think really anybody's exactly sure what happened. I don't think anybody has 100% of the story there, because nobody really knows. I mean, it's dark. It's just randomly gun goes off, right? So it's like I don't think anybody had the full story. So I don't bash Megan for it. I don't. I'm just glad to see, though, that it seems like Tory is going to be a free man soon. Fingers crossed, because he didn't do it, and that's great. And he makes such good songs, and I need more Tory Lanez music. So please, Tory. I actually don't know. I haven't checked in a while if he is still in jail or not. I assume he is, because I haven't heard anything about him being freed. But please, if you're still in there, get out soon and just make more music. You make such good music, Tory. Shout out Tory Lanez. At number 19, we have the best sing rapper of all time. Also, Tory Lanez is a great sing rapper. I forgot to mention that. The best sing rapper of all time. And I would say it's not. There's a little bit of a gap, not a huge gap, but a little bit of a gap between Tory Lanez sing rapping, which is still insane, and this guy sing rapping. And speaking of jail, this guy just got out. At number 19, we have Fetty Wap. Now, I do want to say, real quick, love Fetty Wap. I do. Shout out Young James, one of Young James' favorite rapper of all time. Love the guy, you know? He should have been in jail for longer. I hate to be that guy. I do. I hate to be that guy. But, like, you have however many hundreds or thousands of pounds of fentanyl. I can't remember. Too much fentanyl. Yeah, you should get locked up for a lot longer. But I'm glad he didn't. You know, I'm glad he didn't. He's not a bad guy. He's not. Now, I don't know why he had that much fentanyl in his car, but, like, please, Fetty Wap, don't carry fentanyl in your car going forward. And to be fair, I also have not listened to his most recent album, which came out, I think when I'm recording this, it came out not even last week, shorter than last week, within the last 7 days for sure. But I still haven't listened to it. I'm excited to listen to it soon. Maybe he'll get bumped up in the future revisiting of this. I'll do. But no, I think Fetty Wap is very talented. I'm glad he's out. There's a lot of unreleased Fetty Wap stuff that is very good, but unfortunately does not count for this list. But shout out Fetty Wap. If you haven't listened to a lot of them, because again, he has the big few songs. If you haven't listened to a lot of them, just go investigate. Fetty Wap has a lot of bangers. I think I have like 40 songs on my playlist by him, not counting features. I have another like 10 to 12 features. He's really good. Shout out Fetty Wap. Please go listen to more Fetty Wap. Everybody that's listening to this, please do. He's great. At number 18, we have, honestly, the second or third best rapper of all time ever in terms of features, honestly. When this guy gets on a song as a feature, he reaches flow state 100% of the time. At number 18, I have Polo G. Polo G goes stupid crazy on every feature I hear from him. Book Bag 2.0. Book Bag 2.0. Three-Headed Goat. Are we kidding? Two of the best rap verses I've ever heard in my life. He's on both of them. He's a feature on both of them. Also, his verse on Unapologetic, which is his song, but his verse on that, legendarily good. NLE Choppa's verse is also insanely good. Polo G, I wanted to put him higher. I just, it's a little TJ thing of like, he kind of fell off the later in his career he got, like 3 or 4 years into it. He's just fallen off a cliff, which sucks. I really hope he can find his old mojo back and just start releasing music that sounds a lot more like his old stuff, because it was absolute bangers. It was gas he was releasing. Every single song was just pure gas. Now, number 17 is somebody that I almost had the chance to meet. I did. And I decided not to go, which is unfortunate because I think the tickets were like $20. It was ridiculously cheap. And I wish I did, but that's okay. You know, he's an amazing artist. At number 17, I have Lil Skies. Lil Skies is really good. And the more I listen to Lil Skies, the more like hidden gems I find. You know, I'm not saying nowadays is a hidden gem, but I found that song the other day, and it's just so good. It is so good. Shout out Lil Skies for dropping an absolute banger of a song. I mean he drops so many bangers of songs. But I do wish I would have got to meet him, but it is what it is. It's not that big a deal. But shout out Lil Skies. Please check out more of his discography. I feel like he is on the more underrated side, especially whenever we're getting to this point of the list, the top 20, really. Tory Lanez to currently, all the way down to number 1 even. He's probably the smallest artist. Yeah, I'd say he's the smallest artist on this list. So please go check him out. He makes absolute gas songs. Now at number 16, we have another person like Polo G that when they reach flow state, they reach flow state. I do have him a little bit higher than Polo G just because his longevity is better. But at number 16, we have Lil Baby. Lil Baby. Lil Baby's one of those guys. I loved Lil Baby for the longest time. And I still do really, really like Lil Baby. And for the longest time, I was like, I mean, he's not a great rapper, right? That's what I was thinking for a while. And then I went back and re-listened to his stuff a few months ago. And I was like, wait a second, he has some bangers. Then I re-listened to all his stuff in my playlist for this video. And I forgot just how many bangers he had. He has so many bangers. And his consistency is actually really good. I haven't heard a bad or even a mediocre Lil Baby song. They're all pure flames. So shout out Lil Baby. Yeah, just overall a great rapper. Now number 15, we have probably the best sad rapper on this list. We'll get to somebody else that's kind of a sad rapper in a little bit, but. At number 15, we have the Kid Laroi. He is so good. So good. I think if we're talking about, he has genuinely one of the best albums of all time. He does. I think it kind of sucks that all three of the albums in the series kind of got jammed into one. I'm not a fan of that, but still, the first two are masterpieces with no skips, which is actually crazy because I think I can count on one hand the amount of albums that don't have any skips. I think it's the first two in the series. I think it is Graduation by Kanye, and I think it is Young Goat by YNWB Slime. Weird pick, I know, but absolute zero skips on two albums? That's insane. And even now, he's making some absolute heat. Nights Like This, both part 1 and part 2, pure gas. There's some great features. Again, I know Distant Strangers came out a year ago, or under a year ago. And he's had a few other songs with 1-4 and stuff that have come out kind of recently that are just absolute bangers. And I think he's kind of moved on from the sad vibe entirely. Thankfully, because he's a great rapper, and I don't think he should be restricted to just sad rap. So thankfully, he's branching out a little bit, and he is really, really good at it. Really good at every part of rap. Now, number 14, we have kind of an old head, kind of an unk. But man, if he can't rap. I'm pretty sure he's the oldest person, well, I don't know. I don't know if he's the oldest person remaining or not. If not, he's darn close to being. At number 14, we have 50 Cent. 50 Cent's one of those guys for the longest time that I was like, he had the one good album, and that's it. And he peaked, and then he kind of fell off. He fell off pretty bad. But no, I was wrong. I think it's The Woo is the Pop Smoke song with him. If it's not, it's whatever Pop Smoke song he's on. I think it's The Woo, though. Absolute flames on that. Hate It or Love It by The Game. Pure gas. 21 Questions. Truly one of the best songs I've ever heard in my life. So good. So good. Storytelling? If we're talking about storytelling on that song, all-time song. All-time. Top 10 rap song of all time. It really is. It's that good. So, shout out 50 Cent. Shout out 50. I never thought he'd be number 14. I was thinking he'd be in the 50s to 60s range. But then I realized he really didn't drop off as hard as I thought he did. Thankfully. And I don't know if he's even releasing any new music now. But his longevity was a lot better than I thought it was. So I put him all the way at number 14. Because between decent longevity, a lot better than I thought, and the insane peaks, that's why I have him at 14. Now, at number 13, we have somebody that is unfortunately not with us anymore, unfortunately. We have the greatest white rapper of all time. Number 13, we have Mac Miller. Mac Miller's peaks are generational. Absolutely generational. The Way by Ariana Grande, by the way, no pun intended. Such a banger song. Such a banger song. Shout out Ari, by the way. We'll get to her in a future music video. I don't even know when. And The Spins featuring Empire of the Sun. Oh, it's such a beautiful song. It is one of the few songs that I think works really well as a daytime vibe and a nighttime vibe. Both vibes, which is a really rare thing to happen, but it does it extremely well. So shout out Mac Miller. Truly one of the best to ever do it. I have no doubt in the back of my mind that he'd be top 8 if he was still with us right now. It's just an unfortunate circumstance. And to whoever sold them the laced drugs, I hope you have a miserable life for the rest of your life and die alone. No, I mean, to be fair, if you do that to anybody, I feel the exact same way. But with Mac Miller's case too. I hope you have a miserable life, buddy, whoever you are. Number 12, we have the last mumble rapper on the list, or mumble rapper in quotations, as people call him. I mean, he mumbles, but again, I think mumble rapper as a term this is corny. Number 12, we have Playboi Carti. Now, I will say number 12, 11, and 10 are really tough. It took so long to figure out who was 12, 11, and 10. And then 9 to 1, that was a solidified 9-person group. Now, ranking them within that was hard too. But I put Carti here just because lyrically he's not as good as 11 or 10. And 11 and 10 have the same amount of bangers and mega bangers as them and good flows. And so it's like he's still, again, clearly one of the best rappers of all time. He's number 12. Number 11, number 10 just haven't beat a little bit. Now, number 11, we have the highest female on the list. Number 11, we have Doja Cat, the greatest female rapper to ever do it. I think Nicki got her crown snatched, honestly, years ago. Like, I'm talking like 4 years ago. I think Doja Cat's been the best for a while now. Doja Cat is such a legendarily good rapper. She is. And I hope she keeps releasing great banger music. I know at one point she was talking about retiring. I don't know if she is retired now. I actually don't. I haven't checked up on that in a while. I sure hope she's not. And if she is, I hope she unretires. But either way, Doja Cat, absolute bangers. Even if she's kind of an odd person. But it's okay. She's not a bad person. She's just a little odd. You know, everybody's a little odd. Now at number 10, we have the first member of the top 10 and the last member that is not on the quote-unquote Mount Rushmore, which I know there's 9 people, but either way, we have number 10, Don Toliver. Don Toliver is so good. He has so many absolute bangers, and even his most recent album, absolute gas. And it's been going crazy, by the way. I see like audio clips of it and stuff everywhere. I mean, and on Spotify, I think it's the most streamed album right now. Like, Don Toliver's just crazy. He's so crazy good. And he's dating Kali Uchis. How is he dating Kali Uchis, by the way? Let's stop and talk about that for a second. Not saying Don Toliver's a bad-looking guy. Okay, I'm not saying that. But if you look at Don Toliver and you look at Kali Uchis, I don't understand how he pulled her. You know, respectfully. And maybe he's just a really cool guy. Maybe he's got a great personality. I'm sure he does. It's Don Toliver. He seems cool. But Kali Uchis Kali Uchis is actually crazy. So shout out both of them. Both of them are really cool people, by the way, at least from what I've seen. So shout out both of them. But Don Toliver is so good. Drugs and Hella Melodies featuring Kali Uchis, one of the best Night Drive songs. Also, he's featured on one of the best Night Drive songs, Patience by Lil Uzi Vert. Such a banger. And I love Lil Uzi Vert. I do. I mean, we'll see him here in a second. But I think he's the best part of that song, and I think that song's a all time like top 20 rap song of all time. I do. I think it might be the second best night drive song of all time, and we'll get to number one. Don't worry, we'll get to number one. But it's such a banger. It's such a banger. Also, I found out if anybody likes playing Mario Kart World on Switch 2, if you play Rainbow Road, the song's not long enough for the entire Rainbow Road course to be played, but still, it is literally the perfect vibe. It is the perfect vibe. So shout out Patience, and shout out Don Toliver and Cali Uchis. Now at number 9, this is the Mount Rushmore. This is the 9 where I could see somebody breaking into this. I could. I don't think it's like it is a firm 9. I think it's a firm 9, but I don't think it's like there can only be 9. But at number 9, we have 21 Savage. 21 Savage is so good. And if we're talking about features, I think he's the second best rapper of all time in terms of amazing features. I do. He has so many banger features. And shout out Spin About You by Drake. Truly one of my favorite songs of all time. I do think I like it more than it is a good song. But it's still just such a banger. I can quote that song by memory, by heart. I love that song so much. Please go listen to it if you haven't. It's a banger. It's a banger. But 21 Savage releases some absolute bangers and banger verses. That's why he's here at number 9. And again, I love Don Toliver. I think the gap between the two is pretty big, even though Don Toliver is such a good rapper. 21 Savage and everybody else in front of him is just that much better. That much better. Now at number 8, we have Future Hendrix. Shout out the guy on TikTok that I think is a crackhead, or at least high or drunk, or both, I guess. Crossfaded, I don't know. Singing March Madness. That dude's hilarious. That's a banger video. Future is so good. If we're talking about just consistency alone, he's probably the best of all time. He probably is. His consistency is insane. I mean, he's been in the game for forever. And he's just been dropping banger after banger after banger. And I haven't heard a bad Future song. In every new Future album, there's like 5 or 6 songs that I immediately put in my place because I'm like, these are just bangers. They are. Future's just so talented. He really is. Again, lyrically, I think compared to the rest of the people on this list, he's definitely the worst. But that's not saying much because you're the 8th best rapper of all time. You saying, well, he's not as good lyrically as the top 7 rappers of all time. Well, yeah, I'd sure hope so. They're the top 7 rappers of all time. Now, at number 7, we have Juice WRLD, my favorite rapper of all time. I love the guy. I do. I love the guy. I miss him, And if we're talking, if this was a list of just entire discographies, released or unreleased, he's number 1. I do truly believe he is number 1. And not to be like, well, all his best songs are unreleased. Because they're not. There's some absolute amazing songs. Again, Flaws and Sins, one of my favorite songs of all time, that's released, He has some absolute bangers that aren't released. And maybe eventually I'll make a video covering like my top X unreleased songs, however many, 150, whatever, I don't know. But if you like Juice WRLD, go listen to his unreleased stuff because I know there's like thousands and thousands out there. And I've combed through just a few hundred. Like, I still have a lot to go. But he just has so many bangers. He does. I really can't complain about a single thing about Juice, and that's the thing. 7 onwards, you don't have a flaw. You don't. And like, with Future and 21 Savage, it's like, I think 21 Savage's, like, his lyrics aren't the best sometimes, and Future especially. But obviously Future's consistency is just insanely good. But with both of them, it's like at 9 and 8, yeah, you're still a tier above everybody else. it's also like they have small flaws, like minimal flaws, where it's like just kind of nitpicks. At this point, going forward, there's no nitpicks. There's not. There's not. It's literally just kind of like how much of a chance they have to make a mega banger for any random song they drop. And I think I also put Juice here at number 7 just because he's not going to be able to go any higher going forward, which is unfortunate. It's very sad. But that's why I have Juice at number 7. Love the guy. Favorite artist of all time. But I just couldn't have him any higher. Now at number 6, we have somebody that at one point was, in my opinion, the second best rapper of all time. And maybe even for a month or so, I thought he was the best rapper of all time. But he's dropped down to number 6 because a lot more people have moved up, and we'll get to that. But at number 6, I have Kanye West. Not a great person. He's not. Let's get that out of the way. Not a great person. But if we're talking about music, he is so good. He's so consistent. He's has so many bangers, so many mega bangers. Lyrically, he's amazing. His flows are amazing. Beat selection's amazing. This isn't even counting the production, which is insane. His production is insane. That doesn't even count. I'm not even counting that. He is truly one of the best rappers of all time, and he slipped only to number 6 only because there's just some people that throughout the years I've just been creeping up, and finally over the last year or two they've passed him. Now, one of those guys, number 5, we have Travis Scott. He is top 5 at this point. He passed Kanye. He deserved to pass Kanye. He's been insane. Utopia, one of the best albums of all time. And I'm not talking about rap albums. I'm talking about albums. He's one of the best albums of all time is Utopia. Also, I don't know what website it is that like gives the like ratings out of 100 for albums, but the fact it gave Utopia like a 56 is actually criminal. Someone needs to be locked up for that. That's diabolical. Now, I wanted to point out, I said earlier, and I can't remember exactly what song it was. Oh, Patience by Lil Uzi Vert. That's what it was. That I thought that was the second best Night Drive song of all time. I think number 1, clear and away, is My Eyes. I think My Eyes, if we're talking about rap songs as a whole, is the best rap song of all time. It's not the best, like, again, there's songs where it's like they're the best, have the best rap verse of all time, you know, like Andre 3000 on, okay, why am I blanking on the name, the Kanye song off of Donda, like that is like the best rap like verse of all time, you know. Life of the Party, Andre on Life of the Party, one of the best, well, it is the best rap verse of all time. I think My Eyes as a whole rap song is the best rap song of all time. I do. Now, the only thing is him and number 4. I think my number 3 throughout the years is solidified. My number 4 and him were creeping up on Kanye, pause, at the exact same time. And I think number 4 and Travis and number 4 can kind of get swapped however you want. But I think right now, today, number 4 is just ever so slightly better, marginal of a percent. At number 4, I have Lil Uzi Vert. Lil Uzi Vert is so good. So good. I think I've listened to like 95% of the songs he's ever released. Like an insanely high percent. Never heard a bad song from him. Never even heard a mediocre song. Every song is at least slightly a banger. Let alone all the bangers and mega bangers he has. He is genuinely such an amazing rapper. Now, breaking into the top 3 is going to be really difficult for him. And I think for years to come, him and Travis are going to be swapping 4 and 5 for a long time. But I could see a world where he eventually cracks the top 3. I could. Now, is it going to be anytime soon? Probably not, but it could be. It could be. Now, the number 3. There are 3 really big rappers I have not named. And maybe you haven't kept track. Maybe you haven't kept track. Or maybe, because I know there's some people I've left off this list because I just didn't think they were good. Maybe you think, oh, he's leaving this person off this list because he doesn't think they're top 150 material. These 3 rappers are the 3 best rappers of all time. And they're known by fans as the Big 3. Yes, all 3 of the best rappers of all time are in the Big 3. I fully believe that. Now, number 3 is going to come as a big shock to some people. For the longest time, for years and years and years, I had this guy as the GOAT, And just the more I listen to all 3 of them, the more I think he's the worst out of the 3. That's not saying much. He's still the 3rd best rapper of all time. But at number 3, I have Kendrick Lamar. I do. For the longest time, for years, 3 or 4 years probably, at least, I was calling him the GOAT. I truly believed he was the GOAT. And I obviously still think he's amazing. I mean, he's the 3rd best rapper of all time. 100%. And I think the gap between him and Uzi is still very, very large. But the more I listened to number 2 and number 1, the more I realized, while he's amazing, he's not their level of amazing, even if he's close. At number 2, and honestly, number 2 and number 1 are darn close. They are. They're darn close. I think the only reason I have number 1 as a definitive number 1 right now is because I haven't listened to as much of the number 2 rapper of all time as I need to. But Lil Cheese is putting me on. It's Lil Cheese's GOAT for good reason. This guy's the 2nd best rapper of all time, and that is Jermaine Cole. J. Cole is such an amazing rapper. Such an amazing rapper. January 28th. You know what? I take back my previous comment. I do. I take back my previous comment about My Eyes. It used to be the best rap song of all time until I heard January 28th. My Eyes just got his chain snatched live on the YouTube video. Got his chain snatched. January 28th is truly, I think it might be the best song I've ever heard in my life. Not even a rap song. It is truly an insane experience and something you need to listen to when you're driving at night. It is truly the best vibe I've ever had for a song ever. And it's not even close. And I'll still get that vibe even if I'm not driving at night. If I'm walking during the day and I hear it, I still get that same vibe. Because it's that good of a song. It is. 2014 Forest Hills Drive is one of the best rap albums of all time. It is top 10 for sure, at the very least. J. Cole is just so good. And maybe eventually I'll put him as my GOAT. Maybe. I need to listen to more of him, When I revisit this list years down the line, maybe I'll swap number 2 and number 1. I don't know. We'll see. But right now, I have J. Cole at number 2. Now, my number 1 rapper is somebody that, yes, he's not the best. He doesn't have the best flow of all time. He doesn't have the best lyricism of all time, the best beat selection of all time. But he's like number 2 at everything. And when everybody else that is the best at a certain aspect, like J. Cole, I think J. Cole is the best lyricist of all time. I think this guy might be number 2 or number 3, And J. Cole, he has some other things that don't make him as high up, like beat selection. I think his beat selection's a little lower. He's like in the top 10, not super high up. And when this number 1 guy's like number 2, I think it makes him number 1. And I think just the sheer amount of bangers. I have over 100 songs from number 1 in my playlist. So without further ado, we have Drake. What to say about Drake that hasn't already been said by anybody and everybody and their mom? Drake is so good. Drake is just so good. The amount of bangers that Drake has is actually comical. It is actually insane that he has that many songs that are bangers. And honestly, I've heard maybe one bad Drake song. Maybe one bad Drake song. He really's grown on me over the last few years. I think the more I listen to him, the more I'm like, dang, this guy really is that good. And I just never realized that. Passion Fruit is such a beautiful song. It is. It brings me back to a place in my life that I loved. I will always adore that song. And I will say, picking between that and Fancy for best song is the hardest thing I had to do for this list. It is. It took me forever. I could not make a decision. I was listening to both of them like 5 times. Like I'd listen to Passion Fruit, then I'd switch to Fancy, then I'd listen to Passion Fruit, then I'd switch to Fancy. And I just could not make a decision. And finally I picked Passion Fruit. And I think that is the best decision. I think I made the right decision. But that was just such a tough decision. It was. But I have Drake at my number 1. I think he's going to stay here for at least a little bit, at least a year or two. We'll see. Again, I'm planning on making another video about this in the following years. I'm going to wait a while, maybe 5 years or so, and revisit it. But right now, the best rapper of all time, in my opinion, is Drake. Now, let's go over the names on the list super quick in case you missed it or you forgot or whatever, just to kind of go over it. So, number 50, we have Logic. 49, we have Lil Yachty. 48, we have Lil TJ. 47, we have Lil Peep. 46 is Post Malone. 45, MF Doom. 44, Kid Cudi. Number 43, we have Tyler, the Creator. Number 42, we have Party Next Door. Number 41, we have Cordae. Number 40, we have Childish Gambino. 39 is Lil Wayne. 38, Jack Harlow. 37, Ray Sherman. 36, we have Yeet. 35, I have Young Thug. At 34, we have Nicki Minaj. At 33, I have Sofego. At number 32, I have Jid. 31 is Baby Keem. Then after that is Ski Mask the Slump God at 30. 29 is A$AP Rocky. 28 is Lil Tecca. 27, we have Migos. 26 is Denzel Curry. After that is A Boogie with the Hoodie. And then Nav right after him. 23, we have Chris Brown. Followed up at 22 by Chief Keef. 21 is Trippie Redd. Into 20, which is Tory Lanez. And then all of the teens is Fetty Wap at 19. Polo G at 18. 17, Lil Skies. 16, Lil Baby. 15, Kid Laroi. 14, 50 Cent. 13, Mac Miller. At number 12, we have Playboi Carti. At number 11, we have Doja Cat. And then the start of the top 10 at number 10 is Don Toliver, followed by 21 Savage at number 9. Number 8, we have Future. Number 7 is Juice WRLD. Number 6 is Kanye West. And then the top 5 is Travis Scott, Lil Uzi Vert, Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, and Drake. Now that is the end of the list. Thank you guys for watching and supporting this entire 3-part series. I apologize it took longer to get out than I wanted it to. But in the future, I have a lot more projects planned, a lot more laid-back projects planned. This took a lot out of me. It was a lot making these PowerPoints and making these lists and going through and reviewing a lot of music. So I know the next future big project I have is a TV show ranking that's going to have to get pushed off for quite a while, just because this project's taken out a lot out on me, and I think I need something kind of smaller for the next episode. I think it's going to be like a kind of laid back, like a Pokemon ranking or something like that. Maybe, I don't know. I need to make a future of the channel video, which will be coming out, I think will be the next video I release, which is going to be a lot more laid back. But going forward, be prepared for a lot of projects. I will be doing a list or a video reviewing this in the years to come. So if you're watching this years later, watch out for that either kind of soon when you're watching it or eventually I'll release it. Just kind of revisiting this and seeing if I change anything or not. But I think that is all I have for the video. So thank you all for tuning in and have a great day or night.